Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Stu.
And this is Bad Screenplays.
We've been writing screenplays for years, but couldn't get anyone to read them.
On each episode, I read an unsolicited script.
And I read one. We pull them apart and decide if they're any good, but mostly try and have fun with them.
Maybe these screenplays will attract attention or get greenlit by First Draft Productions, our own fictional production company. Hello, Stu. How are we?
Good morrow, sire.
Greetings and salutations.
Oh, God. I just sent Mark a clip from some, to use the inside term, Ren Fair. A Renaissance
Ren Fair.
I don't know why. If I watched something that had it in, I just fell down the rabbit hole of, jingle jangle.
Oh, God. I know someone who used to greet you by saying, ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy, hoy.
And I'd be like, oh, God, don't say that.
You know, that's Mr. Burns in The Simpsons, but I think it came from, like, the person who invented the telephone decided that was how you should use the telephone. You should answer the phone with ahoy, hoy.
Oh, really? Was it Alexander Graham Bell?
I think Mr. TNT from AT&T. I don't know. It was a...
I started to listen to a Pixies podcast fairly recently.
Oh, nice.
It was recommended on the Adam Buxton podcast, one of the more recent episodes. And it's good. I feel like me and you, we've spent a little tiny bit of time in a recording studio, haven't we? Like, record music. Yeah. So a lot of the sort of the magic and the intrigue is, I know how boring it can be and stuff. It's great and it's fun, but it's a lot of hard work and stuff. So listening to someone else in that process isn't quite as magic for someone who hasn't been in a recording studio. Sounds dead patronising, that, doesn't it? Fucking hell. But there was one funny bit where the voiceover guy who's got a dead cheesy voice was like him. This is the first time Joey Santiago has recorded an album clean. And so like someone brings it up and goes, hey, Joey, this is the first time you record an album clean. And Joey Santiago, you think he's going to be all like, oh yeah, it's a revelation, it's great to be sober and this, that, and he goes, yeah, it sucks. Lots and lots and lots of heroin that he's not happy about having none of it.
Can hardly remember the last ones. Just flew by.
Yeah. I mean, he spent so much time on heroin. It's insane. It's completely insane. It makes me think of that. I think me and my two brothers, Andrew and James, got a bit obsessed with it. It's the Megadeth VH1 Behind the Music. Have you ever watched that?
I have, yeah. I have. I haven't watched it recently, but I can vividly see it, in my head.
When Dave Mustaine's talking about using heroin, he goes, think about heroin. It's like making love to a gorilla. You don't stop until the gorilla stops. Oh, man. My favourite metaphor.
Poor Dave. But you see those guys later in life and they're just like shredded, Yeah. And I heard someone say once, you only have a body like that in your 60s if you did heroin in your 20s.
Yeah. For a decade or two as well.
Yeah.
Was it you who sent me a link to or who was it that told me about it? The Megadeth camp that you can go to, like a Megadeth summer camp.
What?
And apparently people can pay to go to this camp, and it's sold as if you go into Dave Mustaine's house. He's got this big weird oldie worldy looking house that's like it's like some weird terrifying museum. It's built as if you go to his house, you hang out with the band, and you just have a few beers and like watch Megadeth playing some other bands. But it's basically just going to be like Firefest, really, isn't it? You're spending $200-300 or whatever it is to go and plot of Dave Mustaine's land as far away from him as possible.
I get to mow Dave's lawn today.
Yeah, get to pick up his dog shit. And then there's you can spend like an extra $300 to hear campfire stories by Dave Mustaine, and that's just going to be 3,000 people in a different tent or something, don't you? It's not going to be like
selling you.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Look into it, man. It's hilarious.
Firefest, man. Do you see that documentary?
Yeah.
My neighbor told me, he goes, go home, watch this documentary, and when you get to the bit, and you'll know the bit when you get to it, send me a text. And I was like, the bit what? And I'm watching it, and it's that bit where the guy goes, to get the stuff out of customs, you've got to do what you got to do. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh shit. Yeah, of course. I was speechless. Yeah. And he's just sort of like shrugging at the camera, isn't he?
Yeah, like, yeah, we needed the stuff.
Oh my God. And the fact that he did it for Firefest as well, which was doomed.
Oh my God, it's so good. Netflix have like this uncanny ability to find these great documentaries.
The one bit that really got me is when they sold all the tickets and made a load of money, and obviously they were like, it was a train wreck. It was just a flaming train wreck already moving downhill, and they needed more money. And so they convinced people who'd already bought tickets to buy special wristbands, electronic wristbands.
Spending money.
Preload your money with. And these people were buying the wristband for $100.
Fire credits, yeah.
Preloading 1,000 fire credits on.
Yeah, just milking them even more.
And you see them walking through the airport, waving the wristbands, go, woo! And all that.
As much as it was like cringy getting up to that point, that was a little icing on the cake for me watching it. All those Instagram influencer types all bouncing in, dressed like Paris Hill, going, oh my God, flashing a peace sign and stuff, thinking, yum, yum, yum. This is going to be great.
Oh God, I know. It just attracts all the worst, all like the rich Coachella people, like the rich kids and stuff. Yeah. And you're like, oh God.
Yeah. So I watched this week a movie that popped up on Amazon. It was one that passed me by, The Gentleman by Guy Ritchie. You seen it?
It's a Guy Ritchie film. I've seen a poster for it, and even the poster made me think, wow, that looks, even if it's shit, it'll be fascinating. Yeah.
So I'm just torn because it's got a great cast, right?
Who's in it?
Hugh Grant, Matthew McConaughey is like the lead sort of badass drug dealer.
Right.
But it's just Guy Ritchie, it's well written. It's a good story. It's just Guy Ritchie, man. I just can't get over Guy Ritchie. His films are so annoying. It's Disney version of Cockney gangsters. It's like,
oh yeah,
everything that isn't true. Like, he hit me on the old lump of lead. That means me head. Like, they explain it in the movie because they know people. Oh man.
So is it kind of like a Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels kind of vibe? Is it Cockney
exactly
thing?
This is Dave. Dave don't take no monkeys off and like this, and it goes on like this stuff. It's every kind of trope from a Guy Ritchie movie. It was entertaining. It was quite,
There's that funny Adam and Joe sketch where they're doing like an impression of Guy Ritchie, because Adam Buxton went to private school with Guy Ritchie.
Really?
Guy Ritchie went to private school. And what in like friggin' Westminster or whatever.
So what better person to write about East End gangsters then?
Exactly. He's got on the tube with one or two and he's gone, I can write about these guys.
He accidentally got on the
the wrong one.
The wrong line and went down to
His driver couldn't pick him up that day or something. But basically that Adam and Joe sketch where it's like the toys, one of the toys, the Teddy sketches that they used to do, like Titanic and stuff. And it's like a little Guy Ritchie one. And he's going, yeah, well, basically, I use this technique that Tarantino used, now there's copying.
Yeah, right.
Brilliant.
It's great. It's great. I like the London gang stuff is entertaining and stuff. It's just Guy Ritchie. But that made me think of you've seen Gangs of London, that series on Sky?
No, but I've worked with the special effects guy who worked on that. He was telling me all about it.
What did he say?
He come to work on something that I worked on, a TV show called Intergalactic, which is due to air pretty soon. Actually, there's a trailer out for it, like a sci-fi thing.
Nice.
I was working on that in 2019. It's just come out now, or it'll be coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
It looks quite good. Do you know Tommy Turgoose from This Is England? You know, we were talking about.
Yes, I do.
Imagine Tommy Turgoose in space. And I'll leave that there. I haven't seen it yet, and
Fade out.
I hope to God it's fantastic. I really genuinely, but I can't say anything about it. They spent a lot of money, and the sets look great and all that, and the cast is actually pretty good. But he was saying, the special effects guy who I was working on the spaceship doors with, this special effects guy, his name's Ted.
Yeah?
He was like, "Oh yeah, I've just been working on something called Gangs of London." He said, there's a big finale episode, or one of the later episodes, where there's a big shootout, and he said, I had to preload 20,000 rifle blanks. He said, and there was like X amount of people firing like blanks at each other simultaneously, and the shot was about like 3 seconds or something for 20,000 gun blanks.
I know the scene. It's staggering. Like, up until that point, I was thinking, oh, this is like gritty, ultra violent, East End, you know, do what you got to do, sort of everything that Guy Ritchie isn't. But then at that point, I was like, oh, this is a bit comic bookish. It became a little bit sort of Sin City kind of little vibes of stuff like that at that point. So no, it's really enjoyable, and it's a great series.
Oh, good. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, do.
Look at that. Yeah, the guy who did that, who was talking about, the special effects guy, he's got his own tank.
What?
He's got a little bit of land, and he's bought his own tank, and he's been doing it for ages, and he's just finished it, and it's like him there with his two like 8 and 9 year old kids riding around on the tank.
Coolest dad ever.
100%. But just before we get into the scripts, you will have heard Separate Ways by Journey in the last episode. And now, just a quick little guessing game for you, Stu. I was looking up Separate Ways on Spotify, and Journey are a very popular band. Not as popular in England as they are in America, are they? But they're still, fairly well known.
Right.
How many Spotify listens do you think Don't Stop Believing has got?
Oh man, that's a tune. I suppose I've got to say like 1 million, right? Like ever or
ever on Spotify. Okay, so Separate Ways has got Separate Ways, which isn't a particularly well-known song, but it's still very popular, has got 100 million listens.
Oh.
So how many listens do you think Don't Stop Believing's got?
It's got to be, like, from Sopranos, it's got to be up, like, over 500 million.
1 billion listens.
No!
1 billion listens.
Steve Perry.
That's fucking insane, isn't it? It's completely insane.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
1 billion.
It took me a little...
Is that normal for Spotify? I suppose a lot of bands must have 1 billion listens.
I have never, ever seen that many listens. Let me just quickly look at Justin Bieber. I don't know any modern artists. I'm fucking useless. Justin Bieber's most listened that I can see is 475 million.
Really?
That's his highest. And I would have thought that he's a pretty modern artist. I imagine most of his fans aren't going out and buying 12 inches to listen to the songs on Spotify or YouTube, aren't they?
That's got to be Sopranos that did that.
Yeah, it has to be. But then it's just been played and played and played. And it's so universal, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a great song.
1 billion listens.
Good for Journey.
I know. It took me a while to get my head around that one. Anyway.
Let's continue on our journey.
Let's continue on our journey.
Sorry, no, this isn't local radio.
News. So it's your turn this week, Stu, to go first.
I've opened my script from you.
Okey-doke.
Air Biscuit.
Air Biscuit.
What does that mean?
When I first saw the title, I thought it was a cross between Sea Biscuit and Air Bud.
Right.
So it could be a horse that plays basketball that's very flatulent, or a dog that can run races or something. I don't know. But no, it means farts.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Air Biscuit by W. Mark Dendy. What do you think the W stands for? Internal newsroom. Night. Ooh, a newsroom. Sacramento's KRAP, Channel 2's primetime anchor, newscasters Trey Hamilton and Susan Lipovitz sit at the evening news desk making small talk during a commercial break. Production manager off camera. You're on in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Trey. Welcome back, viewers, to KRAP, Channel 2's primetime news. We're so glad you stayed tuned in because Susan brings us a very interesting story tonight. Susan? That's right, Trey. Earlier today, I was at a Home Depot talking to men about the ladies in their lives and... okay. Flatulence, that's right. That common problem that we all suffer with from time to time. Even beautiful women such as... Camera comes in for a close-up on Susan. Little old me. Trey. No way. Trey leans back in his chair, holds his nose, and points his finger at Susan while nodding.
There's definitely some people who, like, you might see on TV or in a certain role, who you think there's absolutely no way you've ever passed wind in your life. You know, like the obvious thing is, has the Queen ever farted in any company? You know, and it's impossible to imagine that it's ever happened, isn't it?
But you know it has.
But you know it has.
Right?
I mean, do you reckon she's ever done one and go, shit, I'm going to have to walk away from that?
I reckon
and
she's...
exit.
Yeah, I reckon she's done one that's like gone... and like her security detail or her chief of...
That was a good noise.
Thanks. Or a chief of staff or whatever is near her, and they've just totally like... and this afternoon we're having tea with... and just like let it go. Like...
Yeah.
Susan, yep. I've been known to cut the cheese or float an Air Biscuit, but you'll never hear me pass gas. Oh, Trey, and I can vouch for that. When she lets one go, boy, it's silent but deadly.
Have you ever looked into the Viz Profanosaurus?
I used to get the daily... I had it on my phone for one time. I'd give you a daily phrase or a daily word.
Oh yeah, it's so good. I've got a Viz subscription. The Profanosaurus, for anyone who's not familiar with the Viz, is like a dictionary, and it's the last couple of pages, and it's all like what was just described in the screenplay here, like cutting the cheese and floating Air Biscuit and stuff like that. Right. But it's like all profanity. But the Viz is full of basically suggestions people have sent in, and they print it as if it's an actual dictionary. And some of them I still use myself, like a word for a fart as a trouser cough. Or an arsebark. There's just so many good ones.
It's good, the old Profanosaurus. I should get it back on my phone.
It's excellent. Well, I tried to find some, and I got sidetracked by Viz top tips that people have sent in, and people have sent into the letterbox. And it just reminds you how hilarious the Viz is. I'm going to read you two just quickly now before we move on. Is a Viz top tip. Girls, embarrassing noises. Leave an empty trombone stand outside the lavatory door and people will think you're just practicing. So good. And this is one for the letterbox. While shifting in my seat to let out a particularly troublesome fart, I nearly rear-ended the car in front at a level crossing. Luckily, I managed to slam on the brakes, but followed through at the same time. Can any readers beat this unlucky escape? I nearly died when I read that for the first time. Genuinely, I had tears coming down the face. So it's like, oh no.
Oh, the old double. Fucking hell. All right, so Susan, it's silent but deadly. Big cheesy grin on her face. Hey, Trey, you know what they say? He who smelt it must have dealt it. Trey, chuckling. You don't say. Well, let's get to the story recorded earlier today. Both turn to the monitor behind them as the camera shows Susan approaching a man pushing a Home Depot cart in the parking lot. External Home Depot parking lot. Excuse me, sir, asks Susan. I'm from TV station KRAP, Channel 2. Can I ask you a couple of questions? Sure. Are you married? Man 1 holds up the back of his left hand, displaying his wedding ring for the camera. Yep, and very happily, I might add. Well, I have a question about your wife. Oh, do you know her? Asks Man 1. Of course not. Now, Man 1's cell phone rings. Excuse me a minute. Hey, honey, I'm being interviewed by the TV people. No, honey, no, I won't forget to buy the Imodium for you. I gotta go, bye.
He's not going to be happily married anymore, is he?
No. And they left that in the piece.
Yeah.
Susan smiles at the man. Sorry about that. That's okay. Now, does this sweet little wife of yours ever pass gas? You mean fart? Oh boy, does she ever. Man 1 puts his hand over the microphone. You ain't gonna show this on real TV, are you? Susan shakes her head. Of course not. What were you saying? Hey, let me tell you, my wife is the queen of fartsville. You know, at night, our room sounds like it's filled with barking spiders.
What?
Barking spiders.
I've never heard a spider bark.
No. Barking spiders. Well, how do they smell? Asks Susan. Like roses. Like roses?
Roses really smell like poo poo poo.
Andre. No, except when she eats some of that Polish kielbasa. You know them big sausage? Man, they get so nasty. I have to sleep on the couch.
Oh, God.
Well, okay, thank you, sir. Susan approaches another man. The man has just exited the store, and it appears his wife is several steps behind him, pushing a cart. Excuse me, sir. I'm from TV station KRAP Channel 2, and I'd like to ask you a question about your significant other. The man stops and points to his wife, who has stopped about 20 foot away, and she's rummaging through her big purse. Well, she's right there. You can ask her. Well, my wife. Well, the question is about her, but I'd like you to answer it. Well, then shoot. Does your wife ever pass gas? Oh boy, does she ever. She's always baking brownies. Baking brownies? You betcha. And boy, do they stank. Holy mother of God, do they stank. Baking brownies, that's a new one. Cutting the cheese, barking spiders.
Barking spiders again?
Mouse on a motorcycle. letting Fluffy off the lead. Whatever you want to call it. My wife does it. And so does our two daughters, Prissy and Missy. And what are y'all telling this woman about our private stuff? Get in the truck, says the man's wife.
A family Louis through definitely goes and spends a couple of days with, aren't they?
Yeah, Louis.
Like those creepy white power kids singing that song in the kitchen.
Oh, Lamb and Lynx, they're called.
Oh,
man, I watch so much Louis through. I love it.
It's great.
It's so good. I remember that was the young kids, and they're all wholesome, and then it turns out they're like bad Nazis.
They're like massive racists.
Is it Lamb and Lynx? I think they were.
But they've just been brainwashed, these kids, like, you know, and they're singing that song, and you're just thinking, and they're like banging the chest and putting the fist up, and you're just like, oh God, that really just a tiny piece of my soul died when I saw that for the first time.
It's the worst, isn't it?
It's horrendous.
They haven't got a chance. It's psychological child abuse.
Yeah, it really absolutely is.
And then the band Lamb and Lynx they were members of the pop duo Prussian Blue.
Oof. Oh my God.
Right?
I don't need to know that these things exist, you know?
Yeah.
I'm better off not knowing that these things exist.
The worst.
Is that the one where Louis, like, he goes to it, I think it's the same episode.
Yeah.
He spends a few days with his family or whatever, and they get sort of friendly, and he's like, and then I thought it was time that I leave. No, Louis' like classic sort of quote, I need to get out of there. Yeah. And it's when they were asking him what his name was, what his full name was.
That's some Jewish name.
Yeah, there you go. We've got a Jewish surname, and he's like, "Yeah, I need to get out of here."
Theroux's French anyway. He's like, "Oh, I'm not Jewish actually, but would it matter if I was?"
let's get out of here.
Yeah, it was all them rednecks with their garage, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Louis' great. I just love his masterclass in interviewing.
He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant.
I love the demeanour, right?
I haven't watched him in anything, and it's been like less than brilliant.
Right.
Genuinely.
Cameraman follows the man and woman walking away. I was just talking to her about you making brownies. Just shut up and get in the damn truck. Camera cuts back to Susan. And there you have it. Internal newsroom, night. Trey looks at Susan. That was quite an interesting story, Susan. Well,
was
Trey.
It?
Yeah, I know.
Was it a story? I'm not sure.
No, they went to Home Depot.
And asked people if they fart.
Well, Trey, just as Doogie Brimson says in his book, The Art of the Fart, men do it, women do it, even animals do it. In some countries, it's considered a social faux pas, and there are even certain circumstances where doing it in public is illegal. Is that right?
I think in Singapore, you can't fart in public.
Bullshit.
Singapore's well strict.
Yeah. Yet in other cultures, it's regarded as a sign of gratitude, and for most males, it is and always will be one of the great joys in life.
Every woman that I know, it's a great joy in their life as well. Probably more so than me.
It's one of the little things, isn't it?
Oh, God, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Right? Fresh bread, you know, a crisp autumnal morning, an Air Biscuit, you know. Lovely.
Trouser cough.
Trouser cough. Susan leans forward in her chair. A small, high-pitched fart. Oh! And we end tonight's news on that note. Was it an F flat, Susan? Nope, Trey, that was an F sharp, as in sharp cheddar. Sharp cheddar. The whole production crew is waving the air and holding noses. Production manager off camera. Somebody just crop dusted the newsroom here at Channel 2. Crap.
Crop dusted. Oh, God.
The end. Crop
Did we learn anything from that, Stu?
I've used crop dusting in a sentence before.
In that context?
Yeah. Air Biscuit. Yeah.
I think that's going to have to be the last one with fart sound effects now, Stu. I think we're going to lose listeners. I'm going to see a big drop off.
Right, no one listening on Reddit thinks farts are funny, Mark.
Oh no, I've gone, let rip. It smells so bad, stinky. What have I done? If you want to destroy your undies, just let rip and they'll blow away. So I have here in my possession a script by the name of Full Moon by Richard F. Russell.
Yeah, I trawled the horror section this week.
Okay, horror.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a minefield looking for horror scripts. I've mentioned in the past. A lot of them go really dark really quickly.
Yeah, they're quite distressing.
Yeah, some of them can be quite distressing. I think a lot of amateur screenwriters generally just go as dark as possible. Whereas I think, you know, if a screenwriter's written a horror script, has to pass through quite a few processes before it makes it onto the screen or before it even gets part way there. Whereas if it's just coming out of someone's brain and onto paper, there's no filter, is there? And sometimes that's...
No.
It's not very good.
More extreme, yeah.
Okay. Full moon. Fade in. Internal office day. Coffee in hand. Down the aisle between cubicle rows. Strolls Rudy. Longish hair. Glasses. Clothes ill-fitting. He might be handsome with a makeover. He's another small cog in a giant machine that grinds cogs into featureless nubs. He pauses by a cubicle and leans in, offering coffee. Getting Mr. Robot vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Rudy, afternoon pick-me-up. He offers the coffee to Lilith, as geekish as Rudy. It's hard to guess what lies beneath the unstylish clothes, pulled back hair, big glasses. In a normal universe, these two are made for each other. Lilith accepting. How did you know? So they're a pair of dorks, are they?
They are, exactly. I'm seeing Kip from Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, God, Kip. He's the best.
Was it Kip, the brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be jealous. I've been chatting a line of hot babes all day. We both now are trained to become a cage fighter.
Shut up, Kip.
Okay. I'm going to have to do Kip voice now. Lilith, how did you know? Rudy, Friday afternoon, everyone needs a hit before the party. Lilith, oh, you think I'm going to the party? Like it's the last night of your life.
Oh.
He grins, and she returns the smile. Lilith, and you? Party hardy?
Party hardy.
Till the break of dawn, or maybe longer. Lilith, not afraid of the full moon? The only full moon I'm afraid of is the boss in the backseat of the Civic. She laughs.
Why?
I don't get it. Oh, the boss's full moon.
The only full moon, or the boss in his Civic?
Was the boss bending over or something? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Lilith, ouch. How do I erase that image? Rudy, alcohol. Large quantities of alcohol.
It's the worst geeky flirting.
It is, isn't it?
Maybe I will. Maybe you should. Maybe I will. Oh, God.
Lilith, that can be arranged. Rudy, then maybe I'll see you out there. Can't hide under the full moon.
Oh, she's keen.
She smells like a coquette. Coquette?
Coquette?
What's a coquette?
I don't know. It's a
croquette.
Yeah, fried potato. Like a tater tot.
Give me your tots, Napoleon.
Tots! Oh, it's come full circle.
Here we go.
Tots in his
Completed the circle. Lilith, if you see me, buy me a drink. When I see you, I'll make your night rock. With the tip of an imaginary cap. Oh no, he sipped his cap.
Doth the proverbial.
Oh, ahoy hoy.
Ahoy hoy.
Oh God. Rudy glides away. Of course he does.
Yeah.
Leaving it to smile after him. Internal, Rudy's apartment, bathroom night. Dressed in a towel, Rudy looks hunkish, strong and built.
Wow.
His hair slicked back, his grin rakish. Rakish grin. He's become a predator. A man to turn heads with passion. Brushes his teeth. Brushing his teeth with passion. Internal, Lilith's apartment, bedroom, night. In skimpy lingerie, Lilith skips across the room and grabs a dress off the bed. She slides into a short, tight, slinky number and emphasises every gorgeous curve and bulge. She's one hot girl.
Oh, so these two are like... I didn't see these two geeks doing this.
Are they playing it down in the office or something? Or is it...
Oh, maybe.
Is it the full moon that's making them be...
Oh, it's a full
hot?
moon, isn't there?
Don't know. With a nod of her head, she slips on some cum-doomy heels and leaves the room. You ever heard Chris Rock talking about clear heels?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're going down to the mall to buy a pair of clear heels. It's like, you know, you're not going for a big job interview. He talks about those guys who like have their lunch and the evening meal in the strip club. External street night. Down the sidewalk sways Lilith, as comely as a girl can be. A shaft of light hits her as the full moon rises over the building, and for a moment she looks ethereal. I wonder why they've changed. He hasn't explained this one yet, has it?
What?
Why they've changed? Is it the full moon not turning them into werewolves? It's turning them into attractive people?
I guess. Maybe. Well, maybe the flirting was enough to sort of get them all worked up, and they were just like, yeah.
Maybe. From a shadowed doorway steps Rudy. Rakish, lean, smiling. Without a sound, he begins his stalk. Sliding along behind Lilith. So is he back skinny now?
Oh yeah, because he was a hunk, yeah.
External street later. Out of a club strides Lilith. If she's been drinking, it doesn't show. She walks towards the next neon sign. A muted howl stops her. She spins to look behind and sees nothing. She turns back and starts. Standing in front of her is Rudy, the transformed Rudy.
What?
You're still getting Kip voice, unfortunately. In case you're wondering, yes, I am stalking you. Lilith, laughing. I've never had anyone be up so front about stalking. I think I like it.
Said no woman ever. Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
God. I think I like it. Okay.
Rudy, if I remember correctly, I owe you some drinks. Lilith, well, we could walk next door, or we could have a drink back at my place. I think you know where that is. So he's told her he's stalking her, and she's like, come back and have a bevy.
Yeah, and you know the way, because you're already stalking me.
Yeah. Rudy laughing. A good stalker knows his prey.
Prey?
She takes his arm and they start away. Lilith, how good a stalker are you? This is bad shit.
Yeah.
Rudy, the stalker of your dreams. Lilith, ooh, I like that.
Right.
Internal Lilith's apartment bedroom night. Lilith, in bra and panties, pulls 2 silver scarves from her closet. 2 candles provide scantlight.
Uh-oh.
Lilith, the power of the full moon is a little understood. Okay, so it's definitely a werewolf thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
She moves from the closet to the bed where Rudy lies naked. A thin sheet on his waist. It's like a Mills and Boon book, isn't it?
Oh my god. That's so bad. They're like the best sellers on Amazon. Like,
really?
Oh my god.
Mills and Boon?
No, anything like that. You know, the best selling books, audio books and regular books on Amazon are like Ship Ahoy, and then on the cover it's like some hunky pirate holding a... They love that stuff.
Oh my god.
It sells like hotcakes.
That's crazy. I bet it's just rubbish as well. It's just writers who've like written a load of like good stories and good novels but can't get them published, and like they just get hired to write that shit and just churn it out probably. And
they're writing under probably some other author's name. Just like a pool of freelancers writing for like, you know, Sandra Sherrington or whatever, you know, some...
Yeah. I know a gig reviewer, they used to pay people to go to gigs on his behalf and write the reviews, and he'd write them as if he was there.
No.
So it was like he never missed a gig. And the amount of gigs I saw reviews for, and I was like, wait a minute, you weren't there. I didn't see you there.
I mean, they're 2 gigs at the same time and different shit.
Yeah, and he was at both for the duration. Okay, Lilith. From the dawn of recorded history, men and women have been enslaved by the moon's light. Mm-hmm. Rudy, like werewolves. She kneels on the bed and ties his wrist to the bed. Lilith, are you a werewolf? That's a bit of front, isn't it? Rudy, more wolf than were. That's like something Kip would say anyway, isn't it?
It is.
I love that bit on Napoleon Dynamite where they've got the time machine and he hooks himself up to it and he's about to turn it on and he goes, wait, you forgot to put the crystals in.
Yeah, like that was going to make all the difference.
And they put these like little crappy toy crystals in and turn it on.
Oh man, you're making me realise more and more I haven't seen that film in a long time and I need to rewatch it.
It's great. It's so good.
Crystals.
And there's the uncle asks Kip if it's serious with his girlfriend, and he's like, we chat online for pretty much 2 hours every day.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's pretty serious.
It's pretty serious. Was that guy who, like, the martial artist?
Is it the uncle?
No, Rex Kwando.
Rex Kwando. He's doing his own type of Rex Kondo, yeah.
It's his own style, yeah. He wears those, like, American flag trousers.
Yeah.
It's great.
Did you ever see that Danny McBride sitcom, The Full Fist Way?
No, what?
It's basically, he's like a karate teacher. It's called The Full Fist Way, and it's just like, it's kind of pre-Eastbound and Down, but it's a bit, it's Kenny Powers vibes as well. It's that good.
Really? I wonder if it was written by Jody Hill as well, his writing partner.
It's totally in his oeuvre, you know. It's
Nice.
It's in that vein. It's a little bit rough around the edges too, but it is good. It is good, like.
Cool. I'll have to look that up.
She jerks his wrist to the bedpost. Lilith, does that hurt? Rudy, I can take it. She knots the scarf securely. Lilith, because there are special scarves. The silver woven into the fabric. The metal, sometimes it cuts. She moves to the other wrist. Rudy wincing. You like pain? She winces. Sorry. She ties up his second wrist, even rougher than the first. Lilith, doesn't everyone? A thin trickle of blood runs from under the scarf down his arm. With infinite care, she licks up the blood. She's a wolf, isn't she?
She's definitely a wolf. Licking the blood.
Licking the blood. I know, yeah. Have you seen those like so-called real-life vampires?
Oh God, I knew you were about to say that, and no, I haven't. And before you even said it, it was coming out. I was like, he's about to say there are real vampires, and I need to look this up right now.
You need to look it up. I watched like a 15-minute short documentary of real-life vampires. Right, and get on this. They all live into a house, and it's basically a fucking cult. And there's like a head vampire, obviously.
Of course there is.
He's like the main one, and he's basically grooming all these people, and they're all like basically goths living in this big house together, and whatchamacallit, but obviously, you know, not goths, the vampires.
Of course.
Don't call them a goth or they'll come and get you. And they build up the whole like drinking blood thing like to the max. You wouldn't believe how much they build it up. And the main vampire, like, you know, like this sort of, what do you call it? Probably gives himself a title or something.
Yeah.
Says I'm going to allow such and such. They're like the youngest, prettiest member who's in brackets worked the hardest at being a vampire. It's awful to drink the blood, and then it's like builds up and builds up and builds up, and then they show it, and he literally pricks the end of his finger so a tiny bit of blood comes out, and she sucks his finger, and that's it.
Like, it's not like he's doing a diabetes test or something.
Yeah,
it's not like he slices open a vein
or she's drinking a pint of his blood or anything. It's like, you know, if you cut your finger and you go, it's as much blood as that.
Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
Oh man, yeah. It's
that Matt Berry,
so good,
isn't it? It's like a big house full of the vampires, and
it's great.
I love it.
Okay. All right. Rudy, does it taste feral? Lilith, it tastes wonderful. I could just think about those like silly vampires now. She slides over and straddles him right in his crotch. Yeah, this is what the vampires are getting up to as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I can feel you like this. Oh God, sends vampire porn. She unhooks her bra and exposes world-class tits and hard nipples.
Sorry.
I reckon the person who's written this has never seen any boobs, let alone world-class ones.
Yeah. Yeah, like a bag of sand.
Yeah. By a 12-year-old.
Right.
Lilith. Oh, that really gets the heart pumping. Rudy laughs. I want your heart pumping. She wants
that blood.
She takes her bra and stuffs it in his mouth. Lilith's been dreaming of that stalker. I don't think he has, actually. She leans over and brushes her nipples on his chest. Oh, man. Her hand slides under the pillow and retrieves a short silver knife. Okay, here's the horror bit now. Lilith's showing knife. This is a very special silver instrument. It's almost pure silver. Just enough steel to hold an edge. And it's a very keen edge. Rudy starts to buck as she tries to talk. Lilith riding him and placing the blade on his throat.
Whoa.
One little slip. Like Twilight was basically vampire porn, wasn't it? Essentially.
Yeah, exactly. It was.
You know, the writer of Twilight was a Mormon, and the
Really?
whole thing about being a Mormon is kind of following it, going to church, and then obviously meeting your partner, and then you get married, and then you can have sex once you're married and stuff.
Is that what the vampires do?
I think so, yeah. That's what they do.
Okay.
But my partner was raised as a Mormon, so she said when they would go to church and go to the church groups and stuff, it was basically just full of proper randy teenagers.
Oh my God, of course.
None of them had had sex, obviously, and they were just desperate to get married. Yeah, yeah, desperate to get married so they could have sex. And apparently Twilight, it's like, well, you're forbidden, you're not allowed to do this, and it's basically just pushing it further away. And yeah, it's vampire erotica, basically.
I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah, it is. It's there's a lot of like Mormon like undertones, overtones, subplot, subtext in it. It's like it's forbidden. You're not supposed to go out with the vampire. You're not supposed to go with him, but then you really want to go with him and all that stuff. Like it's just a metaphor for being a Mormon teenager. 'Cause you're not supposed to do it and all that.
Interesting.
Anyway, Lilith running her fingers over his chest. So smooth and strong, I must say. You're an excellent stalker. Okay. She lifts her head and looks out the window, the knife poised over him. A shaft of moonlight flashes over them, seeming to invigorate her. With a moonlit grin, she runs the knife across his chest, opening a slit that fills with blood. Like a hungry beast, she leans over and laps up the warm blood.
Oh man,
I'm glad the erotica side of it was curtailed before it really got going, Stu.
Right, it was only a little one or two lines. Yeah. You don't.
I know you wouldn't do that to me.
You don't want to linger on that. No. Oh my God, that was funny.
That was funny, man.
All the better for having Kip read the voice of Rudy, I think, as well. Hold on.
I need to go on YouTube, the best of Kip.
Right. I bought you a delicious bass. That's my favourite line from the movie.
I can't remember that line.
He just gives her a fish in the playground, wrapped in newspaper. I bought you a delicious bass.
What size rifle is a Napoleon?
A freaking 12 gauge, what do you think?
A lot of vampire boys in the village, not many vampire girls in the village. Vampires drinking blood in the village, vampires making love in the village. Not many actual wolves in the village, they don't actually turn into pooches. No dogs, no wolves in the village, no hounds, no mutts in the village.